Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, everybody. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. 13th chapter. Start with verse 20. Prakriting Purushan Chaiva Viddhanati Ubhavapi Vikarangscha Gunan Chaiva Viddhi Prakriti Shambhavan.
Shipra Mataji is there.
Hare Krishna. Material nature and the living entities should be understood to be beginningless. Their transformations and the modes of matter are products of material nature.
Number 21. Karja Karana Praktite Hetu Prakriti Ruchate Purusha Sukha Dukhanam Prakrite Hetu Ruchate.
Nature is said to be the cause of all material causes and effects, whereas the living entity is the cause of the various sufferings and enjoyments in this world.
Number 22. Purusha Prakriti Stoshahi Bhutante Prakriti Jan Gunan Karanam Guna Sangharsha Shat Sat Joni Janmashu.
The living entity is material nature, thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due to his association with that material nature. Thus, he meets with good and evil amongst various species.
Number 23. Upodrashtanumattancha Bhokta Bhokta Maheshwaraha Paramatmeti Chapukta Dehesmin Purusha Paraha.
Yet in this body there is another, a transcendental enjoyer, who is the Lord, the supreme proprietor, who exists as the overseer and permitter, and who is known as the supersoul.
Number 24. Ye evam veti purusham prakritim cha gunaishaha sarvatha vartamanopi nasha bhuyayo vijayate.
One who understands this philosophy concerning material nature, the living entity, and the interaction of the modes of nature is sure to attain liberation. He will not take birth here again, regardless of his present position.
Number 25. ध्यानेत्नात्मी पश्यन्ति केचिदात्मात्मना केचिदात्मना अन्ये शङ्खेन योगेन कर्मयोगेन चापरे.
Some perceive the supersoul within themselves through meditation, others through the cultivation of knowledge, and still others through working without fruitive desires.
Number 26. Anye devo ma jananta shruta hanneva upashate tehopi chatiranteva mittum shruti parayanaha.
Again, there are those who, although not conversant in spiritual knowledge, begin to worship the Supreme Person upon hearing about Him from others. Because of their tendency to hear from authorities, they also transcend the path of birth and death.
Number 27. Javat sanjayate kinchit shattam staparajanganam khetra khetranga samyogat tadvidhi bharatashava.
O chief of the Bharatas, know that wherever you see in existence, both the moving and the non-moving is only a combination of the field of activities and the knower of the field.
Number 28. Samang sarveshu bhuteshu तिष्ठतं परमेश्वरं विनश्यत्स विनिश्यन्तं य पश्यति स पश्यति.
One who sees the super soul accompanying the individual soul in all bodies, and who understands that neither the soul nor the super soul within the destructible body is ever destroyed, actually sees.
Number 33. यथा सर्वगतं शोकादाकाशं न पुलीपते सर्वत्रावस्थितो देहे तथात्मा न पुलीपते.
One who sees the super soul equally present everywhere in every living being does not degrade himself by his mind. Thus, he approaches the transcendental destination.
Number 34. यथा प्रकाशयतेक वितस्नं लोकमिमं क्षेत्र क्षेत्री तथा कृत्स्न प्रकाशयति भारत.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah,
I think we missed a lot of verses. Shikha Mataji is going on English on 30th verse.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I should be in 38th, isn't it?
Go
Yeah.
back to 30, Mataji.
Yes.
30. Okay, sorry.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Shall I start on 30, yeah?
Yes,
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Okay, sorry. And number 30. Prakriti chaiva cha karmani kriya karmani sarvashah yat pashyanti tathatmanam kartarang sha pashyati.
one who can see that all activities are performed by the body, which is created of material nature, and sees that the self does nothing, actually sees.
Number 31. Yada bhuto prithak bhavim ekastamanu tato eva cha vistaram brahma sampadate tata.
When a sensible man eases to see different identities due to different material bodies, and he sees how beings are expanded everywhere, he attains to the Brahman conception.
Number 32. Itani nigurnatat paramatma hayopayam apaya sharirostopi kanteya nakaruti nalitate.
Those who the vision of eternity
Sorry,
Yeah.
Mataji, it's gone wrong again.
Oh,
So, Mataji, Palika Mataji, you need to read 32 now and the translation for 32. Sorry.
sorry. To recite 32, yeah? I don't know what's happening to.
Yes, Mataji, 32 you need to recite.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Anadita nirgunata paramatmatma bhavaya sharirastopi kanteya nakaruti naliptate.
those with the vision of eternity can see that the imperishable soul is transcendental, eternal, and beyond the modes of nature. Despite contact with the material body, O Arjuna, the soul neither does anything nor is entangled.
Thank you. Number 33. Yatha sarvagatam shukad akasham napulipate sarvatavastito dehe tatatma napulipate.
The sky, due to its subtle nature, does not mix with anything, although it is all pervading. Similarly, the soul situated in Brahman vision does not mix with the body, though situated in that body.
Number 34. Yatha prakashayate vitasno lokamimam ravi ketra ketri tatha vitasnang prakashayati bharata.
Usana Bharata, as the sun alone illuminates all this universe, so does the living entity. one within the body, illuminates the entire body by consciousness.
Number 35. Ketra ketra goyorevam mantaram ganachakusha bhuto prakriti mokhancha ye vidu janti te param.
Those who see with eyes of knowledge the difference between the body and the knower of the body, and can also understand the process of liberation from bondage in material nature, attain to the supreme goal. Hare Krishna.
Om Tat Sat Iti Sri Bhagavad Gita Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyaya Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Sambhade Ketra Ketra Go Vibhaga Yoga Namak Tayadashaddhaya Hari Om Tat Sat Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble of the sisters and please forgive me all these messing around. I'm very sorry. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Shipra Mataji, and thank you, Palika Mataji, for a very beautiful recitation. Thank you so much. Dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. My special obeisances to all the senior Vaishnavas. I seek your blessings today. I'm very happy to be back here, given an opportunity again to serve. Still very nervous, but as a means of service and primarily for my purification, I would like to share something with your permission and blessings. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा गदामह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते जो गोपेशा गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिनीति नामिने। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनीति नामिने। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुलङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। ॐ तत्सत्। Hare Krishna. I will share the screen now, the PowerPoint presentation. And please let me know, dear devotees, if you can see the screen.
Yes,
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So we have come to the last verse today of the 13th chapter, Kshetrajna Yoganama, 13th chapter. And today is the last verse. So we will go ahead and see the overview of this chapter. So Arjuna is asking Krishna 6 questions, by now we know, and this is the summary, the overview. And Krishna answers one by one all the questions for Arjuna's understanding. And the main points, the 6 topics of this chapter is Prakriti, the material nature. Purusha is the enjoyer of matter. Kshetra, field in which one can act within the material world. Kshetrajna, entity which experiences the field of actions. Gnana, the knowledge and the process of acquiring this knowledge, which was explained in verses 8 to 12, all the 20 different divine qualities. and Gneyam, that is the object of knowledge. So the field of activities and its interactions, in summary, is the five great elements: false ego, intelligence, unmanifested, which is the three modes of nature, 10 senses and the mind, five sense objects, desire, hatred, happiness, distress, and the aggregate, the life symptoms and the convictions. These are the field of activities. Today's verse is verse number 35. Kshetra kshetragnayorevam antaram gnana chakshusha bhuta prakriti moksham cha ye viduryanti te param. Translation: those who see with eyes of knowledge the difference between the body and the knower of the body, and can also understand the process of liberation from bondage in material nature, attain to the supreme goal. So the topic, the main topic in this verse, it talks about two things. So the theme is the difference between the body and the knower of the body. That's the first thing which we are going to try and understand. Difference between body and the knower of the body. These are the two different things. And the second thing to understand today is the process of liberation from bondage in material nature. So until now we have learned, right, that we have accepted that we are bound. We are bound by the modes. We are entangled completely because we are in the material world. Nothing here is permanent. Everything is temporary. And there are many miseries. And why these miseries arise, we have gone. Actually, I wanted to really thank Vrindavan Chandra Prabhuji and Mukund Hari Prabhuji, and especially for the last two lectures. It gave me a very good understanding. Day before yesterday, the chapter 22 of Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, Prabhuji explained beautifully in detail about the false ego. So that gave a proper understanding. There was so much food for thought there, that what the false ego does for us and how to come out of this position, of the false ego. And then Mukundari Prabhuji yesterday beautifully explained the verse, which helped me really understand. So I'm just simply repeating what I hear from the seniors. So yeah, so that has given us a lot of understanding. Today, the devotees can volunteer who would like to read the purport by Srila Prabhupada of verse 35. First, second, and third. We need 3 volunteers, please.
Can I read the first chapter?
Yeah, sure, Puja Mataji. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The purport of this 13th chapter is that one should know the distinction between the body, the owner of the body, and the supersoul. One should recognize the process of liberation as described in verses 8 through 12. Then one can go on to the supreme destination. Thank you.
Thank you. Second paragraph. Who would like to
Hare,
volunteer?
Hare Krishna, can I read, please?
Yes, Rupa Mataji. Sorry, somebody else said they can read the third one.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll do the third one.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Hare Krishna. A
Hare
faithful person should at first have some good association to hear of God, and thus gradually become enlightened. If one accepts a spiritual master, one can learn to distinguish between matter and spirit, and that becomes the stepping stone for further spiritual realization. A spiritual master, by various instructions, teaches his students to get free from the material concept of life. For instance, in Bhagavad Gita, we find Krishna instructing Arjuna to free him from materialistic considerations. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
One can understand that this body is matter. It can be analyzed with its 24 elements. The body is the gross manifestation, and the subtle manifestation is the mind and psychological effects. And the symptoms of life are the interaction of these features. But over and above this material world is, but over and above this, there is the soul, and there is also the super soul. The soul and the super soul are two. This material world is working by the conjunction of the soul and the 24 material elements. One who can see the constitution of the whole material manifestation as this combination of the soul and material elements, and can also see the situation of the Supreme Soul, becomes eligible for transfer to the spiritual world. These things are meant for contemplation and for realization. And one should have a complete understanding of this chapter with the help of the spiritual master. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Matajis. Okay, so the main points of focus in verse 35 is Gnana Chakshusha, seeing with the eyes of knowledge. Body is matter, a gross manifestation analyzed into 24 elements. Subtle body is mind and psychological effects, intelligence, false ego. Soul and supersoul are above all, but both are separate. One who can see the constitution of the whole material manifestation as the combination of soul and material elements, and can also see the situation of the Supreme Soul, becomes eligible for transfer to the spiritual world. And all this knowledge that we discuss in all these, the 3 points here, Gnana Chakshusha, the eyes of knowledge can see this, right? And on our own, it is not easy. So that's why the devotee association is extremely crucial and important for spiritual advancement. And moreover, one must accept a spiritual master who teaches us to get out of this material entanglement. So these are the main 6 points. Now, I was listening to Srila Prabhupada's lecture on this verse, and it's very, very interesting because Srila Prabhupada he explains so beautifully every verse, every time you listen to his lecture, he puts it very simply, very nicely, and to the point that even someone like me can understand, who's got very tiny brain, someone like me can understand. So I was listening and I made few points. So before we move on to the next slide, which is stories. So let's discuss Srila Prabhupada's lecture, and then I'm going to tell you a couple of stories. So the point here, point number 2, body is matter. It's the gross manifestation analyzed into 24 elements, and the subtle body, and the difference between the body and the knower of body is explained by Srila Prabhupada. So he says that Arjuna wanted to know this knowledge from Krishna. Knowledge is to understand that this body and soul, Kshetra is this body and Kshetragna is the owner of the body. So sometimes we play games with children, right? We ask a child to identify their body parts. So what do they say? The child, he will say, we will say, what is this? The child will say, this is my head or this is my hand. Even the child says, my head or my hand. The child does not say, I head, I hand. Do they? So here Krishna is giving the knowledge that this body is field of activities, and so it's a kshetra, right? He's given a perfect example. Why is he calling it a kshetra? What does a person do in a field? They till the land, first of all, right? When they are given a land, you need to till it. And then afterwards, the farmer starts the process of sowing the seeds and getting the crops, and then looking after it, watering it, fertilizer, looking out for the insects and all the pesticides. That's what the farmer does in the field. So similarly, we are given this body and we are the farmers, right? The knower of the body. We are not the body. Now that is the knowledge when we separate the two. This is the primary knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Separate the two, body and the soul. That's where it all starts. So what Srila Prabhupada says is that we get off to intelligence. Some compared to others. Similarly, this body is also like a land, and I, the soul, can reap good or bad result due to my work with this body. So Krishna says, Evam Sharira Konteya. Krishna does not say, Arjuna, you are this body. Now that is the knowledge beginning of Bhagavad Gita. Dehi nosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara. Within this body, the owner of the body is there. So people think I am this body. I'm American or I'm Indian or I'm Czechoslovakian. So that's not the knowledge. There must be intelligence. And then Srila Prabhupada says that there are 4 classes of men: the lazy intelligent, the active intelligent, the lazy fool, and the active fool, the 4th class, which is me. So Srila Prabhupada says that the lazy fool is better than the active fool, because whatever they do, result will not be good. For example, monkeys, they jump from one branch to another because they are active, at the same time they are foolish, so they are busy doing the mischief. And Srila Prabhupada says, believe it or not, the modern civilization is like that. They don't know the basic knowledge. What the problem is that, how we are entangled. We know we are attending this chat every day since so many months. So with, the help of Shiksha Gurus, we are learning what is happening to us. So, idam shariram kshetra. God has given you a piece of land, this body. Now you make your future with this body, because body is produced according to my karma. So this body, basically, it's an instrument for us. So yeah, we are in this jail, we are in the material world, but at the same time, it's a perfect place. And there is all the arrangement is available to get out of this as well. Because we have read before, it's also mentioned in Shastras that even demigods, they want a human body. So this human birth is very rare. And there are so many varieties of bodies. So Srila Prabhupada says that we have all got different mentality, all of us, right? We all don't look alike. In the physical shape, our mentality, we are all individual soul. We all have different propensity. We all have different ideas. So it's not like the dolls who come out of a mold, they have the same body. So us living entity, we are different types of body. As one gets land for cultivating, I am given this body, field of activity, to make my own future, good or bad, according to the choices we make. And so this is why knowledge is very important, because we make choices based on our knowledge, right? We want to be that active, intelligent class of person who makes the right choices in life. So father gives money, to a child, and how he spends it is up to him. So Krishna has given this body. The first body in the universe is that of Brahma. And we have all come down. So due to our karma, we've all been given this Kshetra, which is living entity on planet Earth, right? So 8,400,000 species of life. If we work in the mode of goodness, we may get higher planet body, where there is better condition, more opulence promoted. Similarly, we work or live like animals, we get more and more downgraded. There are we all know the bottom planets, Talatal, Patal, Sutala. So we could go there. And in 9.25, Krishna clearly says to Arjuna, Yanti deva vrata devan, pritran yanti pitra vrataha, bhutani yanti bhutejya, yanti madhyajinopimam. Those who are trying to promote themselves in Krishna consciousness, Krishna says, Madhyajinopi mam. Those who worship me, they come to me. It is your choice. Degrade or go to Krishna Loka, Srila Prabhupada says. This is the chance. This human form of body, you make your choice. Now, this is knowledge. This is Gnana Chakshusha. I am this body. If we say I am this body, that is ignorance. No, I am not the body. I am the occupier. So for example, there is an apartment, there is always an occupier and landlord, right? If you're like a renting, when you are renting an apartment. So Krishna is that landlord and we are the occupier. Yeah, to some extent we are owner it at the moment, but the real owner is landlord, Krishna. Why? Because it says in this verse, this body is made of 24 elements, the earth, water, fire, air, ether. We've learned all this before. And these elements are the energy of Krishna, right? So that body belongs to Krishna. I, the person, is the soul, also part and parcel of Krishna, because I had made those slides in the verse 13, and we saw before also so many times how the universe is created by the breathing process, how we all come out from the pores of Vishnu. So there are these two energies. We are the superior energy. So I cannot prepare this body. It's given to me by Krishna through the agency of material nature, Prakruti. So Maya Dyakshena Prakruti Suyate Sacharacharam. Krishna is so kind. He is taking note of all my desires. Our body is actually given to us according to our desire. So it's like these two birds on a tree. We've heard so many times before in this chapter from all the facilitators that there is this Atma and Paramatma. But Krishna, he is so merciful. What he does is that he never tells you that you do this. Even after explaining the entire Bhagavad Gita, he tells Arjuna, now you decide. So like that, when this bird is going to turn to the other bird, that's when he's going to get enlightened. So Krishna is waiting for that moment for us to turn to him. So, and Krishna clearly says that if you want to serve me, you will get Vaishnava body. Karanam guna sangasya. According to your gunas and what you desire, you will get the body. So here, that's all is there for this slide that I had prepared from the class of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And thereafter, I wanted to explain in this verse, it clearly says that knowledge is important, Gnan Chakshusha, and the devotees association is extremely important. And then going one step further is to take a spiritual master. Yeah, good association and spiritual master. So why? So it's clearly explained in 10.11 verse, Tesham evanukampartham aham agnanajam tamaha nashyami atma bhavastho gnanadipena bhasvata. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. I had prepared something on this. That's why I put this picture of axe. There is a really nice story, but I'm looking at the time and let's see. So Abraham Lincoln says that if I am given 6 hours to chop down a tree, I would spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. So there were these Mr. A and Mr. B, two woodcutters. So Mr. A is working for 5 years, works very hard, 9 to 6. And Mr. B just joins recently, and after 6 months, same hours. And then when the time comes for increment, Mr. B gets double of what Mr. A gets. So Mr. A obviously goes to the owner and asks why, I have been working so hard. So Mr. B said the owner said because Mr. B, he takes breaks every hour for 5 minutes, and you are taking a break of 1 hour. So both of you are taking same time off. But Mr. B, when he is taking that 5 minutes break, he goes and sharpens his axe. All the time in his break, he's sharpening his axe. So the result is every day you are cutting 9 logs of wood and he is cutting 15 every day. So why does Mr. B earned more money? This is a material example, but why? Because he had the knowledge that to cut the wood, you need to sharpen your axe. The knowledge is very important. So for material life or for spiritual life, it is extremely important. Without knowledge, like how Srila Prabhupada gave that example of the lazy and the active intelligent and lazy and the active fool. So we want to be that active intelligent devotees. So the devotee association matters a lot. And there is a story. It's actually a Shastric story. So it's from Shastra. Once Narad Muni, he had heard this Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoy. So Narad Muni wanted to, all these exalted souls, they already know everything. But for our benefit, they perform these pastimes. So once Narad Muni had a doubt. This is how the story goes. And he was sure that Lord Vishnu will be able to clear it for him. So he proceeds to Milk Ocean, where he finds Lord Vishnu reclining on giant hooded serpent bed, Sankarshana, and his beautiful consort, Lakshmi Devi, beside him, massaging his lotus feet. So Narad Muni pays his obeisances and then he is very happy to take darshan of the Lord and he is humbly asking, "Oh Lord, what is the value of Vaishnava Satsang, the association of devotees? Please could you explain to me?" So Lord Vishnu smiles and he says, "I will answer your question. First, I want you to go to that village. Look at that village on planet Earth. There is a small worm crawling on the ground. Can you see?" So with his yogic vision, Narad Muni perceived and he nodded that yes, he can see the worm. So Lord Vishnu said, "Now go over there and ask your question to that worm and you will get your answer." So Narad Muni was extremely puzzled. "Oh, I have come here and Lord is going go to earth and meet this worm." But obviously he followed because this is the instruction of the Lord. So he goes and he meets that worm. And so the worm looks up at Narad Muni, rolls over and dies. The worm dies. So Narad Muni got very shocked. He hurried back to Lord Vishnu and he told Lord Vishnu what all happened. He said, "Even before I asked my question, the worm looked at me and died." So Lord Vishnu just smiled and he said, "Oh, is that so? Now I want you to go to that cowshed. Go to that village where in the cowshed a calf is born a while ago, and please ask the same question to this calf." Now, Narad Muni said, "Please, my lord, I can't risk the crime of unforgivable Gohatya because I fear the minute I asked, what if the calf will die?" So Lord reassures him and says, "Just go and ask your question." So now verily he made his way and he goes. So he comes to the calf and the calf is so beautiful with the large big brown eyes, looks at Narad Muni. And by the time Narad Muni finished the question, the calf rolled over and died. So now Narad Muni started shaking with fear and he rushed to Lord Vishnu and he told, "My Lord, Go Hatya, this is such a big crime. I will be punished." And Lord Vishnu said, pacified him that no sin is accrued. You please don't worry and you just go and do last thing for me. So he says there is this vast kingdom. You can see with your vision that there is a queen there who has given birth to her first child ever. She was waiting for a long time. Now she's given a birth. So now, Narad Muni says, no, this child will die. Then Lord Vishnu is very adamant. He says, "No, please go." Nervously, Narad Muni goes. So the baby is, so beautiful, lying, putting like, cradle in the balcony. And Narad Muni goes and looks at the baby and asks the question. And this time the baby does not die, but the baby gurgled with joy. And Narad Muni asked the entire question to the baby that what's the value of Vaishnava Sangha? The child began to speak. Surprised, Narad Muni saw that this child is speaking. The child said, "O sage, your question has already been answered. When you, the greatest Vaishnava, had granted me your association and in contact with you, was awarded the body of most pious animal calf. You graced me with your association once again, and I left that body to gain the birth of the prince, an heir of this vast kingdom. And by your causeless mercy, you have granted me your association again. Now I have no doubt that this is my last birth on this earth. Your association will help me attain that supreme destination, the abode of Lord Hari himself." So Narad Muni gets his answer, he goes back, he pays his obeisances to Lord Vishnu, and then the Lord smiles and says that, "See, this is the power of sadhu sangha, so it is very, very important that we should all take association of sadhus, and our life could change. So that's what we learned from that story. And because this verse was focusing on this, I had to put this story there. And there is this beautiful verse on the same topic, that how when we have material desires, they convert into spiritual enlightenment just by the touch of the Lord. So in CC Madhya 22:42, there is the beautiful verse, "Sthanabilashi tapasi sthitoham tvam praptavan deva munindra guhyam kacham vichinvan api divyaratnam swamin kritarthosmi varam nayache." Translation: When he was being blessed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Dhruv Maharaj said, "O my Lord, because I was seeking an opulent material position, I was performing severe types of penance and austerity. Now I have gotten you. You are very difficult for the great demigods, saintly persons, and kings to attain. I was searching after a piece of glass, but instead I have found a most valuable jewel. Therefore, I am so satisfied that I do not wish to ask any benediction from you." So here, what happens here is that with devotional service, devotional service has to be without any material desires. So here we are talking also in this verse about moksha, right? Krishna says that you will get liberation if you know this knowledge and if you implement it. So what it means is devotional service. Now, when we go take darshan of the Lord, even in a temple, sometimes we have this material desires, right? We are asking for this and that. But so same was the case with Dhruv Maharaj. What was his first reason to, do this severe penance? Because he was seeking a kingdom greater than his grandfather. He was looking for material benefits from the Lord. And when the Lord finally appeared, what happens? When he sees this beautiful of Lord Vishnu four-armed, there is a shankha, conch in Lord's hand. Lord touches the head of Dhruva Maharaj with this conch. And what happens? A complete transformation takes place within the body of Dhruv Maharaj. Lord enters his heart and the enlightenment happens. This is what happens with the pure association, that Dhruv Maharaj realized that what he was asking was Kanchan Vichinvam Api Divyam. He was looking for broken glass, the material desires, the material attachment. And instead, now that he has seen the Lord, he has received the Divya Ratnam, the transcendental jewel, the diamond. So, and what is that? That is love for Krishna, the pure love. He compares material benediction to broken glass, which is absolutely useless. We can't do anything with a broken glass, can we? Sometimes we see in India on walls, they put this broken glass. just so that no one jumps over the wall. And the second feature of broken glass is that it's dangerous. If something, breaks on the floor, we collect it quickly, the glass breaks then, right? Because it could hurt someone. It's dangerous. Similar is this material allurements and the entanglement of the modes. That's what is doing to us. It is entangling us more and more and more into the deeper material entanglement. So it is like a broken glass. But what is Lord? He is this Divya transcendental jewel, the real diamond, the pure love of Krishna. So, the material benefits they divert us from actual spiritual happiness because anything in this world is temporary, everything in the spiritual world is completely permanent. So, yeah, so this verse I have put here also to distinguish between matter and spirit because that is Gnana Chakshusha, the Kshetra, Kshetragna, soul and body. Soul is spirit, body is matter. We need to differentiate these two. We need to separate these two because we are actually, our position is spiritual, but we are in material world. So, it's like, okay, sometimes we go to this temple. Say, if you go to Mayapur sometimes and they serve you this beautiful, they actually, you sit down on the floor and then they come and serve you. Like there's a dal, sabji, rice, roti, pakoda. And when you finish everything in your plate is clean. That's when they come and serve you the sweet. That is last. Why? Because when the plate is clean, we will enjoy the sweet properly, right? Because if all the other flavors mix, we are not going to enjoy. So, in the same way, what happens is that our heart needs to be, clear of. That's why we say association. Say we go and watch Netflix or go to movie, go here, go there, and then we come back, we chant. These things will be playing in our mind like a video, the movie we saw. So we can't mix the two. It is best to be here or there. But for us, obviously, we know what's our best is to be here in the spiritual. So anything we do it properly with a clean plate, the clean mind, then we will enjoy that sweet, the Hari Katha. We will be able to relish because our mind will not be distracted. There are so many things coming in my mind, but the time is running out. And the last thing I wanted to say, very important, is if one accepts a spiritual master, one can learn to distinguish between matter and spirit, and that becomes the stepping stone for further spiritual realization. So, first of all, it's very difficult to get human birth. Even more rare is to get darshan of pure devotee who is very dear to Lord Srila Prabhupada. But now we have his books. So we can read the books, and that's how we can realize his teaching. So I wanted to also explain there is a difference between humility and self-worth. So it's good to be humble. We say that, oh, I don't know anything, which is right because there are so many devotees and amazing things around us. We can learn from them, and so we should be humble. We should pray that, Lord, please make me humble because the day I get proud, then I'm going to go down, down, down. So the self-worth is we are valuable because we are connected to Guru and Vaishnavas, because we are sheltered in Krishna consciousness under Srila Prabhupada guidance. So without my connection to Vaishnava and Krishna, I am nothing. But with all those connections, I have self-worth. So we are going to follow in the footsteps of these great souls. So self-worth is to know I'm fallen, but I'm connected, so I'm okay. Then we will have the self-worth without becoming proud because it's all coming from my connection. With utmost faith, we must hear Guru submissively. We take shelter of his lotus feet. We can hear the lectures every day of Srila Prabhupada and all who are in the disciplic succession. And it means when someone says, I want the dust of lotus feet of Vaishnava, what does it mean? Is to follow his instructions sincerely. That is taking the dust. So to follow in their footsteps. First is Shravanam, then Kirtanam. Apply it in your life. So there is this example of a pilot, right? When he is on the runway, his his plane is on the runway. And at that time, he is waiting for the instructions to come from the, airport. The people who are watching, they have to give him instruction that right now you can take off. So then he can't just sit there. He got the instruction. So we got the instruction from Guru. Then it is the pilot. It's up to us. We have to take off. We can't just stay on that airport. We have to make efforts. We have to take off. And we go up. That's how we make progress. Then our plane will fly. We will reach our destination. But we have to do the kirtanam. So we have to chant. We have to hear. All the 9 processes are there, right, of bhakti. So dear devotees, I am saying all of this for myself. Please, this is for my purification. I am teaching myself. And then Guru gives us the Gnana Chakshu. He teaches us the difference between matter and spirit. With his association and mercy, we can get realization of the knowledge of Shastra. So in the beginning, I recited that verse, Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Deen Tarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram. So if the Guru is heavy, what does it mean? Guru is heavy. With his mercy, even the dumb person will start speaking the mantras and shlokas and shastras. And with his mercy, a lame person can go up the mountain. He can go up the Himalaya. We have to have this faith. That's what happens. And there is this famous Guru Govind Dono Khade, Kaku Lago Pai. We have to lago pai to Guru Maharaj, because the process is we worship Guru, Guru worships Krishna. We are not going directly to Krishna. So Guru gives us our life direction and speed. It's 8:38 already, but I really want to mention this binary concept, if you don't mind. It is extremely interesting. Unless anyone already knows about this. So binary concept is basically the 2 numbers. The 2 numbers are 0 and 1. So say there is 0 and 1, 2 numbers, and imagine that I could not prepare the slide. There was not enough time, but there is a direction and speed in everyone's life, right? So the direction is Krishna, going towards Krishna. That is the right direction, making progress towards going back to Godhead. That is our direction with the help of Guru. And the speed is our shram, whatever we, the activities that we are doing, all the efforts we are making in devotional service, that is our speed. Now this human birth is very rare. We need to really run. Mother Yashoda, when she wants to catch Krishna to bind him in Damodar Leela, Mother Yashoda is running. She's not walking. So she is in the right direction, catching Krishna and going to Krishna and running fast. That should be our enthusiasm. And so I wanted to end with a happy note. So quickly, this binary is direction and speed. So the first, there are only 4 options. First option is 0, 0. Second option is 0 and 1. Third option is 1 and 0. Fourth combination is 1, 1. So there are 2 columns, direction and speed. So the first option is 0, 0. So these are the people in their life, they have no direction, they have no speed. So they are in tamoguna. I would give example of drinking, smoking, meat, no clue what has to be done. They don't know where they will get the real happiness that they are looking for. So this is like a really, really bad situation, 0, 0. Second situation is 0, 1. So the first column is direction. These people have no direction. They are not heading towards Krishna. They don't know this is the right direction, but they have the speed because they have number 1 in the speed column. So these are the people who are business tycoons. These are the big people with the great speed. They are flying from one country to another, one city to, they have big agendas, they have big plans, they're in the mode of passion, and they have so much enthusiasm to achieve in life. And these are called the Bhukti Kamis, right? Bhukti Kami, they are the 0 and 1. So the third option is 1 and 0. So they have direction in life. They are in the right direction. They want to achieve Krishna, go back to Godhead. But there is no speed. It is 0. So these are the Mukti Kamis. So direction is there, but no speed. They are the yogis. No pleasure is upwards in the world up there to Krishna Loka, but they know pleasure is not in this world. So they are in right direction, but they have no practical application, no service, doing nothing, just meditating. They are the dhyanis, yeah. So they have no practical application. So there is no speed. They are just meditating. And the fourth option, dear devotees, is what we want to be, which is 1-1. There is direction, there is speed. So we are heading towards Krishna, we are facing Krishna, and we have the speed in the form of service. This is Bhakti Kami. We want to be Bhakti Kami. So devotee, Mother Yashoda's example is to get to Krishna, we need to have direction and speed both. We must face Krishna and run in that direction. Knowledge and application. That's how Mother Yashoda runs, catches Krishna and binds him. So that's what, there is more, but there's no time now. So that's what I wanted to say, dear devotees. Thank you so much for bearing with me. I don't know, I'm blabbering away. I don't know who's there, who's not there today, the devotees. I can't see anyone. So thank you very much. I wanted to really request everyone. I know all the wonderful devotees, you are making so many efforts. I love this poster that was shared by Bhagwati Mataji. Ordinary book just informs us, but Bhagavad Gita transforms us. And there is this World Gita Day on 25th December. Everyone should join. It will be amazing. Every year we recite all 700 shlokas. And this is the very important in December month. Everyone already knows about this. So it's very, very important that we make some efforts in this direction and distribute the books of Srila Prabhupada. I had prepared one verse for this, but I'll give it a miss. It's 8:44. So I think I should stop sharing now, probably. And I don't know how to do that. So yeah, okay, dear devotees, is there any reflection, any corrections that you would like to, give any corrections, any reflections? Then please go ahead. And
Hare Krishna Mataji, wonderful class, wonderful, absolutely brilliant. So grateful to you. It was so good. It was so enlightening. I'm going to listen to it again.
Oh dear. Okay, thank you, Mataji. I get very nervous. I get nervous,
no, but it was
I think once I
absolutely
get
brilliant.
going,
It was absolutely brilliant. The last class you gave was brilliant as well. You are very, very good. You have to have confidence. It's so good. You are so knowledgeable. My God, you tied it up so beautifully. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for your encouragement. All the blessings of senior devotees and Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Deepa Gaurangi. Wonderful class as usual.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Made it all very, very presentable and very direct, and lots of knowledge. It's a brilliant class. Thank you.
Mataji, please pray for me. Knowledge is there. Maybe it is there. I don't know. But please pray that whatever I was saying, maybe something I can realize in life and really apply. I really mean it because it's very important. So please help me with that.
By Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada mercy, I'm sure.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji, for wonderful class. Beautiful, very enlightening, inspiring.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So
very nice. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. So I'm just trying to actually stop sharing the screen. I think I managed somehow now. So would you like to give your reflections and please add to this words anything that you would like to and anything you would want me to, any corrections, please? What are your realizations? Would be nice to hear from you.
There are no wrong realizations when there is Krishna Katha.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much. Yeah, that is true. With Krishna's mercy, that
Yes,
is
be
true.
determined to serve as we are doing, and everything will work out fine. That's what we have to do.
Thank you. Actually, this chat group, it has become a big family. So what's happened is that I have gained some little bit of confidence because devotees are very merciful and you are allowing and bearing with me. So now I'm becoming little bit less nervous.
Yes, indeed. So you are going to go even further, so don't worry about that.
Yeah,
Hare
I need
Krishna.
to realize. Hare Krishna, thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Sometimes I just go on, but thank you.
Hare Krishna, Dibbagarang. Only thing why I just felt, when you are displaying the slide about Krishna coming to Dhruva Maharaj to give him the blessing, and as soon as Lord touched with the conch and how much enlightened he was. So just because of this is the distribution of the books, I mean, then when we approach the different person, different devotee, for this sponsor, I think our big, if I have my sadhana properly, very strong, I think then our potency to part that, within ourselves, then that person will be very connected. Straight away, they will say, yes, yes, I would like to sponsor. So I for myself, I'm speaking for myself. I need to be very, very conscious of this and make my sadhana, my service very strong for me to approach another person. Otherwise, this is not going to work. So I've learned a lot from your class and how I need to purify a lot within myself. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mataji. It's not my class, but your realization is extremely, it's very thought provoking. And that's something I would take home with me, and so much to learn from that. You are right, yeah. How the Lord enlightened Dhruv Maharaj. We have all these books of Srila Prabhupada that we can read and enlighten ourselves. Actually, there is so much that in a day, the entire day is not enough, and we have all the other duties. And at the same time, if we make our sadhana very strict in the morning, we do our chanting, the basic daily worship, listening to at least one lecture, doing some reading. If we have this discipline, I'm talking about myself, then definitely, Krishna will see our effort, I'm sure. And with all this wonderful association that we have every evening, basically, I have learned so much from this. I started joining chat classes from April in the lockdown when I came to London. And that's how I have all this time. Yes, initiation was taken, everything, we do our reading, everything, but we used to go to temple, and then but the classes have come home through Zoom. So every evening listening has really helped me to understand, because on our own it is very difficult to understand, I feel, this very important knowledge, Mataji. So I'm very grateful, because my Guru Maharaj says that gratitude is the mother of all the virtues. So I always thank everyone from the bottom of my heart, that there must be some pious deed somewhere with the mercy of Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada, that I'm getting this association and learning a lot, really. So for that, I'm very grateful.
Thank you, Dibbagarang. Wonderful.
Thank you so much. Okay, so I think we end if there is no more realization. And Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnave namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you,
Lovely
Mataji, for
class.
wonderful
Thank you,
class.
Devotee.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Thank you.
Hare-
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was really wonderful.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Vishalini Mataji. Thank you, Prabhu.
We'll see you again.
Yeah, I hope so. Hope to come and serve again. Thank you,
Yes.
everybody.
Very well.
हरि बोल।
हरि बोल।
कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय जय। वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हरे कृष्णा। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।